Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studio, it's time for the GNFCC 400 Insider. Connect, build, and grow with the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce.
Hello, and welcome to the GNFCC 400 Insider, the monthly radio show and podcast presented by the Greater North Fulton Chamber. I'm Tori Kerlin, Communications Coordinator at the Greater North Fulton Chamber, and today we'll be recognizing our 2021 NextGen Connects Mentor Match Program. Over the last 9 months, mentors have met with their mentees, shared knowledge, and collaborated on life and work in North Fulton. At the conclusion of the program, mentors and mentees often find that growth and learning has been mutually beneficial, and the mentor partnership has grown in ways not foreseen from the start. And I have luckily been able to participate in this program and have thoroughly enjoyed it so far. I'm really excited to introduce a few of our program participants. We have Geoff Smith, who's branch manager at Assurance Financial, Tukker Penrod, outreach fundraising coordinator at the Unique Foundation. Geoff and Tukker are mentor and mentee pair. And then my mentor, Lisa Tilt, who is the CEO of Full Tilt Consulting. And we have several questions for our guests today. So let's get started. Does everyone want to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got into your background? I'll start with you, Lisa.
Okay, because you're looking at me right now.
I know,
so I
like
love that.
you.
You're the one that has.
We all looked at you. Lisa, go.
Lisa, go. Oh, I'm so excited to be here. And I've had a wonderful opportunity for this mentoring program, but real quickly. So I started Full Tilt Consulting 15 years ago this week and have been in the marketing communications field for 30 years or so. But I did start out in classic rock radio at the age of 19. So this is bringing me back to my roots, which I love it. But and Atlanta native, which is something we were discussing earlier as well.
Awesome. Yeah, That's been really lots of really cool facts about Lisa that I've learned along the journey. One of them being the rock radio background. Tukker, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so Tukker Penrod. I work for the Unique Foundation, a nonprofit here in Alpharetta. Father of 5, believe it or not. Keeps us very, very busy between sports and different things. So keeps it fun and interesting. So it's been fun to learn from Geoff and the balance, and I'm sure that we'll get into that. But happy to be here and grateful for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you. And Geoff, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am the branch manager of the new Roswell branch for Assurance Financial. I'm a residential mortgage banker. I've been in the industry for 10 years. It was not the normal path of senior guidance counselor and deciding to become a mortgage banker in high school and then going to college. But it's been a fun path. I've been a member of this chamber for a long, long time. Loved this program, loved being a part of it, and really happy to be here today.
Awesome. Well, I'm really happy that all of you came and joined me, took time out of your day. I'll start with our mentors today. Mentorship helps develop new leaders with practical advice, encouragement, and support. Did either of you ever have mentors who helped shape your careers? Tell me a little bit about the impact they had on your professional and personal development. I can start with you, Geoff.
Okay. Well, believe it or not, I actually first joined the chamber 20 years ago. Wow. And when I was a young newspaper reporter. And back then, there was no official mentor type program, but I was a very young fellow, and there was a lot of folks that I would call the elders, I guess, of the chamber at the time, who really provided me with a lot of guidance. They provided me with a lot of mentorship, and they all looked like giants to me back when I first started and was a young reporter on the scene. But just a lot of people over the years who kind of took me under their wing, showed me around the chamber, gave me advice when I needed it. I had started new ventures after that, and people really came to the table to support me. And a lot of those people that I knew I still lean on for advice today. I just consider them contacts. So there's people who had been there and done that. And, it's been kind of a part of my growth experience, and I was thrilled to be a part of this program.
Similarly, I've had different experiences and different people that have come into my life that sometimes you don't even know they're a mentor till you're sort of in it, right? And so, something comes up and you have a conversation and take their wisdom and actually activate it and all those kinds of things. So it's nice to see what opportunities that different people come into your life to give you. But that means that you need to go out there and sort of seek those different experiences too. So, I mean, I would say a little bit in the classic rock radio realm. I'm 19 years old. It was before satellite radio. Well, maybe not before, but before anybody really used satellite radio 30 years ago or whatever. And so growing up in that environment and just, having some strength in a male-dominated sort of atmosphere, work environment, whatever. And I just grew to kind of have a voice. But there are people in that environment that I look to as like, okay, they gave me an opportunity that might not have been what was a traditional journey. And then it has sort of led me to where I am today. But different people have really helped shape the person, the career, the mentor that I want to be over these years. And it's been important.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned so much from this entire experience, even just being an employee at the Chamber of Commerce. I mean, everyone I meet is a mentor. And I didn't really know how important that was until I started this career, how important those connections are and the lessons learned. So I know as a mentee, it's been really interesting to see. And the mentors that I meet have also had great mentors. You don't just develop into this perfect person in your career without guidance and connections. So it's pretty amazing to see. And 2021 is the inaugural year for the Mentor Match program. It's been really exciting. I've been able to be a part of it. Rachel Dangerfield is running the program and has done an incredible job. What made, we'll start with you, Tukker. This would be, I guess, a question for the two of us. What made you want to be a part of the program? And what were you looking to gain from the relationship? This can actually be a question for everybody, but I'll start with you, Tukker.
Yeah. I think when I first heard of the program, I thought it was a good opportunity to connect further, into the chamber, and get more, affiliated with the chamber and all the chamber does, but also really to, grow myself, in my career and in my just personal development. I just looked at it as an opportunity to really enhance what I was doing, and to become a better person. I really believe that, we can all learn something from each other. Different backgrounds, different things, different cultures. We can all learn something from each other. And so it was really that drove me to the program, is just to, furthering, my knowledge and, my skills is, with the unique foundation, and just in my personal life as well, just becoming a better person and better father, better husband, better community member. So just bettering myself.
Yeah. Mentorship extends so far out of just the professional realm. And I know I've learned that with my amazing mentor.
Right.
But yeah, like the connection's important. Has been one of the greatest parts, I feel like, of our meetings and relationships is I hope to be a mom one day, and I hope to manage a career and be able to do all those things. And I look at you, who has, a marketing company and is doing exactly what I wanted to do. So the pairings have been really great as well. And Callie worked really, intentionally on pairing everyone together and making sure that was like the best pairings for both the mentors and the mentees. But do either of you have anything you want to say on that?
I think that was a big part of the reason why I said yes. So first I want to commend you two for you and actually putting yourself out there, right? That and applying and wanting to participate in the program. When I look at, why are you participating? I was asked, and by somebody I know and respect. Well, not just that, but sometimes we forget to make the ask. But foundationally based on relationships, right? So I've known Callie. I absolutely respect the work that she does. She's become a friend. And then when she told me whom I got to mentor, I said, sign me up. It's not even a question. So I think that's part of it. It was almost sort of that pre-relationship piece that leads you into having, and then, I saw Geoff on the roster and all these other people that I knew. And this was a different cohort. I mean, I love what I do day to day in business, and my team is the most important thing. And what this does is gets to amplify the group that I'm committed to for a year. I love it.
Right.
A year and beyond.
Yes. Hopefully many more.
Yeah. And I'll just say that when I was first asked, it set me back on my heels for a minute, because I still think of the elder people of the chamber as the people when I first started. And when I had to sit back and say, okay, I just had my 47th birthday.
You're not elder.
Right. Well,
I don't know. He's got some gray hair going on.
I got some gray hair. And, and just to be possible to be a mentor to somebody was kind of humbling in that regard, because it kind of helped me check myself, but I wasn't really looking to gain anything other than helping, a very high character, very hardworking man like Tukker here, who's kind of going through, it's an interesting, he's not, I don't want to say he's new to the chamber, but compared to me, he's relatively new to the chamber. Yeah. Very, very passionate about what he does. He feels very strong in his cause and his role and what he's doing. And, not sure, what he's doing, all the right things, but he's kind of just new on the scene and figuring out where he needs to go to try to progress his cause and further it. And it kind of helped me, as far as if I've gotten anything out of it, then it's like, it's helped me reevaluate, and go back to when I was kind of there, just jumping in and where am I now, and what have I figured out along the way, and kind of, instead of taking all that for granted and actually putting some of that to use and saying, okay, man, good for you. What can I do? Just tell me what do you need, and who can I put you in touch with? And a lot of it with Tukker, because he's a very smart young man. He's not that young. He's got 5 kids, which should add 20 years onto his age. But he's doing a lot of the right things along the way. And I think my biggest help to him, and he may think different, I don't know, but is just saying, man, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. What you're doing, keep doing. And because a lot of times when you're starting out, you just don't know. So that's been gratifying for me, just to know that I have another useful purpose here at the chamber, and that I'm able to see him. And again, it's way more than just business. We talk about, and he's asked me about stuff, raising kids, coaching youth sports. We both do a lot of that. So, there's all kinds of things that we've gotten into, and we still got a family dinner that's coming up soon.
That's right.
So, it's been a very rewarding experience, more than I thought it would.
Yeah, I've noticed that in some of my meetings with you, Lisa, we get there and I start talking, and then 30 minutes goes by and I've told my whole life story of that week, and she's like, so what's going on at work? And I'm like, oh yeah, there's a lot going on at work.
That's funny, because I feel like I do the same thing to you, and then I said, oh, I should probably at least focus a little bit on work,
but I circle back a little.
I think that is part of that. And if we're not who we are as people at work, then maybe we're not in the right place, or maybe, so we all bring ourselves, our full selves. And so I think what that means is it's not just what you're doing, but how you're approaching it, or how it's influencing your personal life, or how they come together. And all of those things make it important. So it's funny you said that because I was like, oh yes, we do have a role, but I enjoy you so much. And I think that's a big,
I appreciate
that. That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely all about the whole person. It's not just about the work life, and the career and the business person, but it's the whole person. It's the personal aspect to it. It's the father or the motherhood or the spouse, whatever the case may be. It's just being a better person. And that's exactly why I wanted to participate in this, is just becoming a better human being.
Yeah.
In all areas of aspect. I mean, help my business, side grow and help me do that better, but also balance the whole life. It's very challenging to balance 5 kids and all that. So,
Tukker.
So I need some advice.
Yeah.
From, somebody who's been there, done that.
Yeah.
Just kind of like Geoff was saying earlier, how he looked to people to help him, just because they'd been there, done that. And that's ultimately what I was looking for too, is that, am I doing the right things? Am I missing something? Am I lacking in something? what can I do better, or what can I adjust? And so it's been really great.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Tukker, I'll start with you just to go off what you said, but what do you think one big takeaway you've gotten from Geoff? One thing that you think has changed the course of what you have going on? I know that's a big one. That's a big one.
Come on, man. Help me out.
It doesn't have to be specific. Okay.
Honestly, no. I jotted a few things down. And I think it really goes back to that balance. Geoff has really helped me understand that work-life balance, and then balancing in the community. Going back to what Lisa said is that the chamber really did a great job in matching us up. And one of the things that I had written down in my application was becoming more involved in the community, and how to do that or what that looks like. And Geoff is very active in the community. And so he's really helped me understand, from a holistic approach of, okay, here's some things that you can get involved in. Here's, things that I've done, but here's the balance, right? I coach football, I do this, and I have my business. And so it's just the overall balance of life and making sure that that's all, in sync, because if one area is out of sync, then you're so kind of lopsided and it doesn't flow well. And so you have to have that good balance in all aspects to be able to, do what you need to be doing. So I think that was one of the biggest takeaways that I got, was just how to have that great balance. And then, and also when to say it's too much, when to, not commit.
It's important
because you are so committed already, and you just need to know when to say, hey, I can't commit it at this time because I have to keep my balance in check.
Yeah.
Not due to a lack of want. Tukker, you're clearly a guy who wants to do so many things you want to jump into, but you jump into too many things and
because you also want to do them
start
well.
to dilute
it. And
right.
So the commitment then starts to wear on you personally because you're trying to do everything at 100% and you just can't. I'm still learning that.
Well.
But I've seen that you've, in the time I've known you, you've made that a big intention of yours. You're president of PRSA right now, which is a huge public relations organization nationwide. And, we talked about her serving with the chamber, and she's like, this is not the time. And that's huge to not take that on, because you absolutely can. But, you wouldn't be able to commit yourself to everything 100%, which is, I've learned that a lot in our experiences, because it's especially, Tukker can relate to this early in your career. It feels like you need to say yes to everything. Volunteer opportunities. Someone realizes I can create a logo, and then I'm pulled into, all these new things. And I always want to say yes, it sounds fun. And then suddenly it's like right now I'm doing it for our homeowners association. There's just a lot of little different things, but that is one really big thing I've learned from you is the balance and being able to, like you said, apply 100% to a few things where you can really be good at that. But also one of the biggest things I learned is to really take initiative for what I want as a young professional. So if there's something that I want in my company or my life or whatever, just do it, try it, show you can do it. And that's something it seems easy to understand. It's not something I really thought of before. It's okay, I'm doing my job, I'm doing all these things, but there is an extra mile, something I want to do, and I need to ask for it, and I need to do it and show that I can do it. And so that's been really career changing for me in the last few months. So,
well, you're so good at so many things. And part of this journey at your age too, and Tukker's, is really learning not only what you're good at, but what gives you that passion to continue to do it. Mm-hmm. And those are some of the most enjoyment, I think, on the conversations is really kind of steering. What is it that you want to do? Where do you find joy? Where do you find that passion? And then,
and figuring out what the answer to that is.
Kind of looping back around to what we were saying, because we also have to look out for ourselves and just ask for what we want sometimes, but also prove that you can get there.
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of the two. Well, I'll wrap us up a little bit here. Can you all give us a little bit of advice? We have an inaugural year coming to an end. Applications will soon be open for the next year. which makes me a little sad to be coming to an end, but hopefully we keep these connections, and I have no doubt that will be the case. Anyone can chime in here. What advice would you give to those interested in this program?
I'll just say you're going to get it. You're going to get out of it. If you decide to do it, like anything in life, you're going to get out of it what you put into it, right? I mean, me and Tucker could very easily have just said, what's your business like? What are you doing? Okay, you want to do, fundraising? Okay, let's see if we can help you out with fundraising. And it could have stopped there, right? And I could have said, I'm a mortgage banker, and, how can we help each other? And it could very easily have stopped there. It could have been very short meetings. It could have not been the hours meetings that kind of went on and talked about personal life and brought in all that stuff. We went there, and because all that stuff intermingles, like Tucker was saying, if one thing is out of balance or out of whack, it's going to affect something else. So to say business is just business, it's not personal, it's not necessarily true, I'd never believed. But so you're going to get out of it what you put into it. Keep an open mind. Me and Tucker, it's coming to an end. The program, quote unquote, is coming to an end. But I fully anticipate that me and Tucker will keep this relationship. We'll always have a special relationship when we see each other somewhere else. It's like we've been in it together. We did the program, and it was a great match, and we got along very well, and that played a lot into how deep and how far we could go with the thing. But, forever, if he ever, needs anything, advice or help, or maybe he sees that I know somebody, an introduction, whatever, he's not going to think twice. He's not going to think for a second about picking up the phone and calling me. He's never going to think, well, Jeff's too busy or whatever. We have that kind of an open door thing that's going to take us from here on out. So,
yeah. And boy, do I echo everything about that. Tori and I are, have connected in so many ways, and she's always in my camp. Always. And maybe I haven't said that out loud, but I want to make sure that I do on radio and public. 100%, right? It's somebody right. I will always pick up the phone for. I absolutely echo everything that you said, putting into it like anything else. But I would also like to shout out to the Chamber in the inaugural year. No hiccups, very well organized, very well communicated. I was very impressed, and I've been asked to do some of these things over the years, and I've said no, but this was the right time. Mm-hmm. This was the right time, but it's also how you guys organize. So anyone considering the program, please do seriously, because they know what they're doing. They're committed to this. That was clear from our very first meeting. Also, the expectations were laid out. So I would say it's extraordinarily well run, and you wouldn't know at all it was the first year. So
thank you.
I would agree with that 100%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think we've already said it before, but I'll say it again, that they just did a phenomenal job matching the pairings. So if you're considering applying, know that they're going to take everything into consideration of what you're looking to get out of the program and find the best match for you to be able to get what you are looking for. Mm-hmm. And I think they just did an extremely well job to match people up with people that would be able to, get along together and work well together, and then also benefit from each other. Not just, the one-sided. So.
Yeah.
It wasn't a novelty type thing. It wasn't like let's just do something that looks cool on the outside. They really wanted this to work. I mean, they really, when you look at the pairings and how much thought must have gone into all this stuff, they really wanted it to work, and they put a lot of effort and time into it. Mm-hmm. And like everything else they do, it was very, very well run, very professional, and
we
you
have
will get a
this
lot out of it
together.
Yeah,
like Tukker and I met as well,
right?
And I learned about his organization, and so even our larger cohort.
We've got a little class of 2021 going on now from here on out, don't we? The inaugural class of 2021.
Captured in photos.
Are you saying we need an alumni program?
Do.
Yeah. We'll be winking from each other from across future luncheons from here on out to the end.
Yeah, the key, I will echo on that though. The key to this has really been, Callie, kudos to Callie, started with the mentees. Mm-hmm. I mean, the applications of the mentees, and then said, okay, who are the best mentors? And that is how these pairings came together. And it worked out really well. And I think from what I've heard, I don't think Lisa's learned anything from me.
Oh, that's true. Not
at all. Our mentors have come back and said, wow, I've really learned things I didn't really take into consideration before. And
Well,
Yeah,
that is certainly true. That is certainly
100%.
true. I mean, I've learned a lot from Tukker.
Yeah.
You know, for one, just the passion, you know, not saying I'm old and don't care anymore. It's nothing like that. Every day is a new day and it's a new learning experience, but it's just fun to, you know, feed off some of his energy, you know, in what he's going through, and seeing how he approached things that I maybe approached differently, and maybe I approached them the wrong way when I was going through the same thing. So it's just been, I encourage anybody to go and get involved and helps, you know, like Tukker was saying earlier too, it helps give you a different perspective on things. I mean, I'm a mortgage banker and I deal with different people every single day. And, so the more I can learn about anybody else going through different experiences is going to help me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hate to bring us to a close because this has been so fun. I know we could do this all day long.
We could.
I do want to ask each of you to let our listeners know a little bit how they could find you, maybe contact your company if they want to ask questions about mentorship or even what you do. I can start with you, Lisa.
Sure. Yeah. You know, the easiest thing, Full Tilt Consulting, marketing communications, but I'm really like on LinkedIn. You can find me at Lisa Tilt, just a conversation, connect. That's usually a great way because flooded with emails, so I don't always get to them.
Right.
Yeah, true. That makes sense.
I think same for me. Find me on LinkedIn. The uniquefoundation.org is our website. But yeah, find me on LinkedIn. And it's Tukker, Tukker,
Yeah.
Penrod. Be happy to talk to anybody considering the program or want to reach out. So
That's another commonality we never put together. I am Geoff, but I am Geoff.
True.
So it's a little
Both
different.
unique spellings.
Right? I mean, God, they thought of everything. But I am at assuranceMortgage.com, and our new office is at 1225 Canton Street in downtown Roswell. So if you're driving by and you want to just pop in. Otherwise, I'm pretty easy to find through LinkedIn as well as a Geoff, Geoff Smith. Or you can email me at gsmith@assurancemortgage.com.
Awesome. And for me, my contact information is on the Chamber's website. It's GNFCC.com. And I just want to thank our guests for listening and joining us. Thank our guests for joining me today. I also want to thank our listeners for joining us on the GNFCC 400 Insider presented by the Greater North Fulton Chamber. To listen to this show again or to hear any of our previous episodes, visit GNFCC400insider.com. And to find out more about the Greater North Fulton Chamber events and programs, visit GNFCC.com. Until next time, I'm Tori Kerlin, and this has been the GNFCC 400 Insider on Business RadioX.